Hey book friends, welcome to another video. It's that time of the month where the TBR jar is choosing my reads for March. Can you believe that it's March coming up right around the corner? I cannot. February flew by. This is my second month that I'm going to be doing the TBR jar chooses my reads for the month, and I had so much fun doing this video last month, and it seems like a lot of you guys enjoyed it as well. And it also really helped me choose books that I already owned and were already on my physical TBR. So I read through quite a few of those. You'll see it in my February wrap up, which ones I did make it through. But it definitely gave me like a little bit of a push to reach for books that I already owned. Spoiler, I did not read all of them. You might notice a couple of them ended up back on the cart. And if you see those, no you didn't. No you didn't. You didn't see them. They're not back on the cart. I did have some new purchases over this past month as well, so they are new onto the cart. Last month I ended up reading a lot of fiction and romance. So this month I'm hoping to reach for a bit more fantasy. I feel like I'm ready for that. So let's dive in. I think I'm gonna do another 8 books. That's what I did for my February TBR video, and it seemed to work well. It gave me enough variety of books to choose from, but also wasn't like a totally overwhelming amount of books. So let's open up. I just put hand cream on my hands, so that was a little more challenging than it should have been. That was a little embarrassing. If you've never seen a video like this before, I should preface, this is just a jar full of prompts. I'm gonna choose a prompt, and then I have to pick something off my TBR cart that matches with that prompt. So that's why it's the jar choosing. Okay, prompt number 1. A book with your favorite color on the cover. Okay, I don't know why I put this one in the jar because I've always said that I don't actually have a favorite color. I have favorite colors. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna pick out books with colors that I'm really drawn to on them. I tend to really like blues and like brighter pastel kind of colors. So maybe let me look for a couple of those and then I'll choose from that. Okay, so the books that are really like calling to me through their colors, it tends to be the blues, I guess, because that's what I was kind of looking at and seeing, is I have The Mountain Under the Sea this is by Ray Naylor. This is a science fiction. I have Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. I do think if I had to choose what my favorite color was, I think it would be this cover. Like that kind of like tealy blue. I have a lot of like, I don't know, like bedding and like a lot of things that just like are this color. So I do gravitate towards this. And then I have A Haunting in the Arctic by CJ Cook. These are all books that I do really want to read and are pretty high on my TBR. But I think out of all of these, this is so hard. Which one do I want to pick? They're all different genres too. There's a science fiction, a contemporary fiction, and then kind of like a horror-y kind of fiction. Wow. I think the one that I most want to read is Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. This one is about someone who is entering the online dating world, and she meets somebody that she's like really infatuated with, and then he ghosts her. And I think it's kind of like a narrative on the modern dating world. Dolly Alderton has a lot of books, both fiction and nonfiction, and I've heard really good things, and I've never read anything by Dolly before, so I want to enter into the Dolly world. And this is a book that I did recently pick up. So this is going to be the first one on the TBR. All right, we're getting on to book number 2. Let's see what we get here. This is really funny. Okay, a book with a pretty cover, which is basically very similar to what I was choosing from last time. Okay, so I would kind of go with some of the same books. So The Mountain Under the Sea, I love that cover. I think it's so vivid and cool. A book with a pretty cover. This one, The Most Likely Club. I just think that's really cute. I love that cover. What else has a pretty cover? I really like the cover of The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. Again, just cute. I'm drawn to like cute covers. Okay. I've made my decision. I am gonna go with The Mountain Under the Sea by Ray Naylor. This one, like, is that not a beautiful cover? Like, look at that octopus. I just love him. He looks so grumpy. I love him. Anyway, and also, like, this has got the cool little graphic on the spine, which is made up by, like, font. It's not a sprayed edge or anything. This book, it's a science fiction. So it's about scientists who discover this new species of octopuses or octopi. Octopus. a new species of octopus, and they are very intelligent. They have, I think, their own language, their own like communities and ways of communication. And so the scientists are studying this new species of octopus, and then I think the whole concept then is that the octopuses, this is terrible, they don't like being studied. So I think that they kind of start fighting back, and they are very intelligent. So I'm picturing kind of like a Planet of the Apes kind of a situation, where maybe the octopus are going to outsmart the humans. But I love this cover. I love the colors on it. I love the graphic on it. I love even the color of that second little page there, and I love the spine. So this one I think is just very fitting for this prompt. And it also gives me branching out from the fiction that I read a lot of this past month. So science fiction is a good one for me. Book 3. Ooh, a book by a queer author. Now this one I might have to do a little bit of digging on, because I mean, a lot of authors I just don't know if they are LGBTQ or not. Okay, so I did a little bit of digging, and I do want to kind of disclaim that I know like a lot of authors might identify as things that they don't feel comfortable putting themselves out into the world, or having articles written about what they identify as or what their preferences are. So I did put this prompt in there for me to read more diverse authors, but I do understand that I'm not gonna always know if what an author identifies as. And I know that you can be an author that is not LGBTQ and write about LGBTQ things, and vice versa, just to read more diversely, because that is something that I want to do. I want to read from the LGBTQ community. I want to read from minority authors. I want to read from different perspectives than who I usually read from. So I just wanted to preface this by saying that. But I think what I've decided is I'm going to read The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. I found this in a free little library. I'd never heard it before. And then it was so interesting because immediately after I picked it up, because I read the back and it sounded super interesting, I saw a TikTok where somebody said that this is one of the best fantasy books that they've ever read. And it has a subplot of romance in it, which is right up my alley. So I think I'm gonna pick this one up. She is a bit of a bigger book. Oh my gosh, and there's so many good authors that have spotlighted on the back of this. Chloe Gong, Alex E. Harrow, R.F. Kwong. On the front is S.A. Chakraborty. Oh, I am so excited to read this book. It sounds like it's kind of like somebody who's being repressed by her family, and then kind of uprising like this. Like the last sentence in this is, and together they will set the empire ablaze. That's what I want. I love a good fighting back, uprising, that kind of a plot to a book I really, really love. So this is gonna be the third book that I choose for the month. I'm just looking at my stack, and I love my picks for this month so far. I think this is going to be a really good reading month. February was not as good of a reading month as I thought it was going to be. I read a lot of books that I didn't rate very highly. They were okay, but I think this month, March, is going to be a lot better. Just already, I have good vibes. Ooh, okay, continue a series. Wow, I'm in the middle of so many series. So what could I do? I could do the next Magnolia Parks book. I have a lot of like first of the series on here as well. So a lot of these I'm not continuing yet. I have Six of Crows, which technically is its own duology after Shadow and Bone, but it would be kind of like continuing a series. What else do I have? Oh, I have Kingdom of Ash. That would be continuing and finishing a series. Wow, I have a ton of the first of a series. I have Unravel Me, that's continuing a series. I think I'm between Kingdom of Ash and Magnolia Parks. Kingdom of Ash was on my February TBR, and I didn't get to it. I really wanted to, but I did not. Ooh, what do I pick? I think I'm gonna do Magnolia Parks. Is that the right choice? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home. This is the third book in the Magnolia Parks universe. These books are really hard to describe because there's basically no plot to them. It's all vibes. It's about some rich London socialites and all of their baggage and toxic relationships and just drama that happens in this community of friends. And so this being the third one, I kind of know all the characters at this point. The books just seem to be getting longer and longer and longer as they go. I saw the new one that came out is like 700 or 800 pages long. I'm like, girl, what needs to be said that is that many pages long? But I've heard that the third and the fourth are like the best in the series so far. Okay, that's the halfway mark. We have 4 more to pick. A blue book. I have like a lot of the prompts I'm getting this month are like the same. I had my favorite color book, which is generally blue. I had a pretty cover, which I'm drawn to blues, and now I have a blue book. Okay, what other blue books do I have? I'm gonna go with A Haunting in the Arctic. This one, I just really want to know what it's about. So this one, it's kind of like a horror fiction kind of a book. It starts in 1901 when a woman is dragged onto a ship against her will, and they're all owed something only that she can give them. And then I think it flashes forward to 1973, and the ship is found and there's nobody on it. It's completely deserted, but there is a body that's there. And the whole book is from the perspective of an urban explorer, Dominic, and she is determined to uncover the ship's secrets. But she's not alone. Something else here is with her, and it's seeking revenge. I think that's a really cool concept, and it's not like anything that I've ever read before. And I did see that this book, I'm pretty sure it was on Indigo's like top books of 2023, and I hadn't really seen it up until that point. And like, I just think like it's also giving winter vibes too. Like this feels like a book that I should read through the winter. So I'm gonna add that onto my TBR for March. Now, hopefully the next one is not based off of a pretty color or the color blue or anything like that. I need something a little different. A cover one again, a book with a person on the cover. Okay, I think I'm gonna have a lot of these. We have Twice Shy, The Most Likely Club, Beach Read, Summer Kit, like they all have people on the cover. Will Not Stop, The Great Alone, does that know? I think for this one, I'm gonna do like a small, lighter, easy book, because I have a lot of big books and a lot of books that aren't necessarily like quick reads, and I feel like I'll need like a palate cleanser kind of book. I think The Most Likely to Club sounds really fun, but usually my palate cleansers, I do romances. Twice Shy. I'm gonna go with Twice Shy because this looks like a cutesy little romance. It's not very long. Let me see how long it is. It's like 300 pages, like on the dot. 302 pages. And the vibes that this is giving me is like cute, lighthearted letters. I love letters in books. Okay, so this is about Maybelle, and she's a hopeless romantic. And she's always kind of like lived in her own world. She likes living with her head in the clouds as opposed to dealing with people in her own life and being disappointed by people in her own life. She inherits a house in the Smokies from her great aunt Violet, and she takes it as an opportunity for a fresh start. Okay, and then she gets to the house and it's falling apart, and she isn't the only inheritor. She has to share everything with Wesley, who is the groundskeeper, who's grouchy as he is gorgeous. Wow. Okay, so it's like Grumpy Sunshine. She moves to a small town, house is falling apart. This sounds really fun. Okay, I'm excited about this. I think this is gonna be the perfect book to mix up with the books that I already have. Yay! Okay, I had no idea what that is about, but I think I'm really gonna like that. Oh my gosh, that sounds adorable. I love a good small town romance too. Okay, 2 left. Let's see what else. Is there anything else I want? I think I've got a good variety already, so I think I'd be fine with whatever. A debut novel. This is also going to need a little bit of research from me because I know there's a lot that are not debut novels. Did Chloe Walsh write anything before Binding 13? How do I know if things are debut authors? Okay, she does have other books, so I don't think that this one is a debut. So that's going back on the shelf. How do I know? How do I know it's a debut? That's not, because she's written something else. Don't think that one. No, I don't think this one is. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Thank goodness. I was looking on the covers for things from other authors when they write their little quips and whatever to say something about it being a debut, and would you look at that, Lisa Jewell came in saving the day because she wrote that this was a debut on the cover of The Maid by Nina Prose. This book is really popular, and I think the sequel to it just came out pretty recently as well. This one I've always thought very much about The Housemaid by Frida McFadden when I look at it, and I don't know if the concept is actually very similar, but that's what I think about. So let's see. I think it's a mystery. Okay, so Molly's a maid, and her grandmother did pass away a couple months ago. Okay, yes, and okay. So she's a maid, and then she is very organized, like has her life very set, and one day she enters a suite of Charles Black, and the whole place is in disarray, and he has passed away on the bed, and she discovers his body. So then there's obviously a police investigation, and she's the main suspect. Okay, so she's trying to untangle this mystery because obviously she doesn't want to be pinned down for this crime that she didn't commit. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Big ick, deckled edges. That's why I haven't reached for this one. But yeah, I think this is good. I think this has pretty high ratings on Goodreads, and I've heard good things about it. So yeah, I'm gonna add that to the pile. And that's something different. We don't have a mystery yet this month, so that's another one that could be a little bit more palette cleansing between some of the other big books. Okay, this is the last one. Let's make it a good one. I'm just on a roll. So this is the opposite. So this is a book with an ugly cover. Okay, so what books don't I like? The cover. I do not like this cover, The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. That one I've heard is really good. Nicholas Sparks is not an author that I gravitate towards, but I've heard fabulous things about The Wish. Sorry. I mean no disrespect by this. Like, every cover is beautiful in their own ways, but just not my taste. Like, not my taste. Okay, I don't think this is a very nice cover. It's literally a mailbox. This, don't like that. Some of these ones, like, it's just boring. It's giving boring. This one, giving boring. I've heard this one's really good though. I think I know what I want. I think I'm gonna do Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This is a science fiction. It's by the same author that wrote The Martian, which I read a long time ago when that movie initially came out. And I remember really enjoying it. And this one people say is like one of the best science fictions and like an easier to read science fiction as well. Okay, so this is about an astronaut named Ryland Grace. Okay, and Ryland has a lot of weight in his shoulders because he's the sole survivor on a desperate last chance mission. And if he fails, humanity and Earth itself will perish. Ooh, but he doesn't know it because he can't even remember his own name, let alone the nature of his assignment or how to complete it. All he knows is that he's been asleep for a very long time, and he's just been awakened to find himself millions of miles from home with nothing but 2 corpses for company. Wow. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Yeah, I like that. I like that. All right, guys, that gives us the 8 books that I'm going to be reading for March. And I am just looking at the stack and I'm so excited. There's so many good books on this stack that I just am so excited for. I think, oh my gosh, I think March is going to be an excellent top tier reading March. I truly do. Okay, let's go through what I've picked, okay? So starting off with Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Let me try to stack these as I go. The Maid by Nina Prose. Twice Shy by Sarah Hogel. A Haunting in the Arctic by C.J. Cook. The Long Way Home by Jessa Hastings. I almost said it was by Magnolia Parks. The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. The Mountain in the Sea by Ray Naylor. And Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. March is gonna be so good. I can feel it in my heart and my soul. I was so excited for this reading month. I need good books right now. Right now I'm reading Bride by Ali Hazelwood and I'm eating it up, and I just needed a good book, and that's what it's giving me, is exactly everything that I needed currently. And I think a lot of these books are going to do exactly the same thing. If you've read any of these books and you want to say anything about them, comment down below your thoughts, because there's a lot on there that I've never really heard anything about. So I'd be interested to know your thoughts on those. But thank you so much for watching until this point. If you liked the video, like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on any of these books, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you later. Bye.